Okay, so I'm going to show you a site where you can get inspiration from. So I'm going to share my screen. So I believe everybody is seeing my screen from either end. So I'll go to my browser. So I'll go to my browser. I'll type UI. Now UI8.net. I'll open it. So to some persons it will open. To some persons it will not open. So I'm going to copy it and drop it on the group for us. So I'll drop it in the resources group. So let me switch my network.
Okay, so this is the site. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to use a free VPN Chrome extension to just open the site. So I'm going to turn it on. So this is the one I use. This is the free version I normally use. So I'm going to turn it on so I can be able to access the site. Can you guys hear me? Esther, can you hear me from your end?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So let's see.
Yes.
So it's still loading. So once it turns on, it's going to be green. It's about to rain. I guess that's why my network is bad. So this is how it's going to look like. So you can see that it's on because it's green. So I can now come back here and then refresh. So yeah, now you can see that the site has opened because I did not use Nigerian. If your location is Nigeria and your network is Nigeria, it will not open for you. You have to use a VPN to access the site. So you can see my location and then you can see that it is on. So if you check here, then you come here, I have an account with them. I've purchased some designs too. So if you come here, you see a lot of design. And trust me, these designs are full page design. Sometimes it will just give you the Figma file. Sometimes it take you to like a browser, something like this. Sometimes it take you something like this. Sometimes it might not take you, like this one now. There is no page for preview. So you can just come here. Who else is not seeing my screen? Esther, can you see my screen from your end? Okay, let me stop share. Let me stop sharing. Yay. Oh, let me stop. Let me stop sharing. Oh.
No, I cannot.
How about now? Can you guys see? Drop a message. Can you guys see my screen? Drop a message. Yeah. Please, like you will refresh from your end. Oh yeah, let me go off. Let me go off and come back. How about now? Can you see the screen? Can you?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, but we can see you.
All right, let's go. Let's go. You come to this side. You click this through button. Oh, yeah. Don't wait. You not click on the right thing. You scatter your brain. Let's don't change the head up. So go here. It's inside this. All right, so this is what it looked like. So I'm going to go back to the UI8.net. So I cannot access it with my location. I can't access it. So I'm using a free VPN. If you have enough good in your dollar account, you can pay to use the paid version. But I'm using the free and my location. You can see my location. And once it turns green like this is it. So there's a lot of VPN Chrome extension, but I just enjoy using this one. So this is what I normally do if I'm having design block. Like I said, I will just go and watch cartoon because I love watching cartoon. I will just go and watch cartoon, take my mind off from anything related to design. Like because if you are having design block and you're paying attention to more design, like the block will start growing. But this is what I do that helps me a lot. I just watch cartoon. You get once I watch cartoon, sometime before the cartoon will end, I will just use my browser and just start feeding my eyes. Yeah. Sometimes you might be looking at only dribble. Sometimes you might be looking at only Behance. You know, may not be seeing what you want. You will search the whole community file. You will not see what you want. But sometimes there are some sites that you will just go instantly. You see what you want. So this is what UI is like. Now, if you check here, you see that I already have an account with them. So this is where I go to. I just scroll. You can come here to search for. You can just scroll here. So Now let's use this one for example. Now there are some you want to now you can add to cart or you can just preview the design. Now there are some design when you preview on it. Now one thing I love about this UI8 is that when you're like this travel booking app, it will just show you it's only this one particular project, There are, you will see that to buy this particular file is $32. You can drop comments, you can actually like it. You can like it, but if you don't want to like it. Now this one now you cannot preview the design. The owner did not make it or give you access to preview the design. You get, but there are some files that you open, you will see that the owner gave you access to preview. For example, this particular one. So for example, this particular one. Now this particular one, this is how it is. This particular one, this is how it is. I can view the mobile responsive. This is a dashboard. This is a mobile application. I can view the mobile app. I can also view the web app too. You can see it. And then you just pick and get what you want. Sometimes, now let's look at this booking app. Now booking app, okay, it's loading. Sometimes the Figma file that they will drop, it will take to community. Now for this one, this is what you will have. This is the booking app. So you can click on this preview. And once you click on the preview, it's going to open like this. You can just pick an inspiration from this. You get to, this is a booking app. Let's say, for example, your project is all about hotel booking app. You can pick inspiration from this. You can pick inspiration for this. This is the splash screen. This. You can just pick inspiration from this. Now you can see that, but now it's not going to show you all the screen. But when you pay for it, when you pay the $32 and then bit other processes and $30 and other processes, that's when you get the design. Let's say you love, maybe let's say for example, I love this. Let's say I love this welcome screen and I want to implement it in my own design. You can screenshot or you can just come here and add love. So when you go to your account, when you go to your profile, scroll. Move to right. Move on to right. Come here, 500. Now you can see that I have saved. Now look at that booking app I just saved now here. Now you can see that this app saved or favorite 29. This is the one I just did now. So I'm the 48th person. This one I'm the 200 and sorry, this is not I'm the 48%. But actually I was the 48th person that added it. So this one now we have over 280 persons that favorite this particular one. Now we are 113 that favorite this one, and we are 162 that favorite that. So if you check, you see that look at all the work that I have favorite. Like I remember when I was creating CareerEx, this was where I got some of the inspiration for the mobile application that is ongoing, and also this for the web app. I think I got some inspo for the web app for tutor part. So sometimes most of the sites here is add to cart or buy now, and this one is just preview. So you can see that this is how it look like. So back to the design. So this is a site where I normally just go off to get inspiration if I am stuck. If I am stuck. So I think this particular one is more better than Dribble, because Dribble is just random one screens you will just see here. But UI8 is you are going to see a full design, like a full project. Like this filter project management is actually a full project you will see. Sometimes you might not see the full, sometimes you might see the full. So depending how the particular user uploaded their design or their work or their project on UI8. Now if you check, you'll see that these are different users' name. These are different users' name. And this site, like I said, you cannot access it from your location. In fact, from our location as a Nigerian. So you have to use VPN to access this link. So this is what I normally do. So sometimes if you use your mobile phone to click on preview, it might not give you what you want. So I think to enjoy experience with UI8, just use a larger screen so that you enjoy it. But for mobile responsiveness, I will not say that you can preview the design very well. Okay, but to get what you want, to get inspiration, this is what I normally use. So secondly, for people just joining now, so I said the project was supposed to be next week, which is on the 7th and 8th of presentation day, and then final submission of projects is going to be on the 9th of June. But we are not going to go with that time because I don't want any of us to work under pressure. I don't want any of us to design something under pressure. It will not make us to miss out some details. And secondly, I don't want a situation where I will get a lot of complaints and many people say, understand the fact that 2 persons reached out to me yesterday that they are done, and some person said, oh, they are occupied with a lot of things. Some person said they are having design blocks. I don't want a situation when it's time for projects, many of us is going to submit 10% of the project. I don't want something like that. So our new date for presentation, CareerEx new date for presentation is going to be on the 14th of June. But product design will be doing on the 21st of June. Is this okay? 21st and 22nd of June. Is this okay? Type it. So is the new date okay for us? 21st and 22nd. All right, so our new presentation day is going to be on the 21st and 22nd of June. Now, the reason is because we are working on 6 features. 6, not be small work, it's 6 features. So I want us to take our time, think as a UX designer, and then craft something nice. I don't want anybody to work under pressure. So submission is after presentation. No, submission before presentation. So we will do okay. So yes, submission, yes. So Saturday and Sunday is going to be our presentation day, and then Monday is going to be the submission day. Presentation is Saturday and Sunday, and then submission is going to be on Monday. So we have 3 solid weeks and extra weeks we have started to start working. So I don't want anybody to work under pressure. I don't want anybody to have design blocks. I know we are all designers and design blocks are meant to happen. But I've told you guys what I normally do that helps me get. Sometimes I just move out. Sometimes I read articles. Sometimes I just take my mind off from anything related to design. There are some persons that will tell you they do sleep. Some persons do sleep. Some person will tell you that sorry, give me 1 minute. It's about to rain. My clothes are outside. Give me 1 minute. So I don't want anybody to work under pressure. I don't want anybody to, submit incomplete work. You get. So I know I said yes, even if you did not meet up or submit something, but since we have enough time, extra 3 weeks with extra 1 week that we've done, plus people that started early May, you get. I need to see good percent of your work, and you're going to defend your projects. If you like submit, don't defend your project. Okay. So secondly, we will not be using the platform, although we'll be using Google Form to submit the project. So basically, we are supposed to design a section for mostly for only projects. but we did not meet up, although it's actually under implementation. But developing a project is not that a day job. So it's currently under development. And so we'll be using Google Form to submit the project. Now, I believe everybody know how to fill Google Form. Same way you'll be answering questions on Google Form. So that is how we are going to use Google Form. So before then, I will upload the Google Form link on the platform, and then I will give you instruction on how to submit your assignment. So you just come to the platform, you click on the Google Form, you will put your name, your full name, the name you answer on Telegram that is the same name on your platform. Not when you put Cynthia Fine Girl, okay? I will not mistakenly say, oh, this Cynthia is another person, not knowing that it is my own Cynthia. You get? So you're going to put the name that is what's on the Telegram and what is on the platform, so that I will know that if I'm giving you the score, it is your score. You get? So the name you are answering on the platform and the name on the Telegram, you're going to put there. I'm going to put your course ID. I believe before all of us have access to the platform, course ID was sent on our email. So you're going to put your full name, like the name you are answering, the name I know you with. You're going to put that name, put your course ID, and then your Figma link. So that when I'm grading you, I'm giving you your score, I will not mistake you for that person. Okay, so that is it. Then secondly, we are done with teaching. We are done with we are not done with assignments, but we are done with teaching. Now I gave you guys UX. I gave you guys design thinking. I gave you guys design thinking video to watch, and sorry, let me put my password and go to Google Classroom. So I gave us design thinking process to watch the video, and most of us, and then most of us actually watch, and most of us do not watch. And I said that video is very important because the day we are supposed to treat it, I was occupied, and also we were lacking in the UI because the assignment submission, the design that you guys were doing are not something that was perfect in my eyes. I said, go and watch that video. It will help you. And also, let's concentrate on the UI part so that everybody will be on the same page. Because I know there are some persons that are fast learner and there are some persons that are slow learner. And our slow learners, we are lacking behind. So I didn't want to leave them behind. That was why I said the day we are going to treat design thinking, I'm just going to upload the previous video to us, and then we'll use that day to cover up another design so that the slow learners will be on the same page with the fast learners. Of course, I did that. Now, and I also asked how many of us have watched it. Just few number of persons that have watched it. And now I was singing it as a song that we'll have to watch it to help us in our project. And trust me, this is actually going to help us a lot in our project. So we have another assignment that we need to do, although this time around it's just related to the design thinking video. But I think before I will explain this assignment to us, let's talk about, let me ask questions related to design thinking. Can you guys tell me what is design thinking, what it's all about, and what does it, like the process? I want to hear from you guys. So I want you guys to, I'll call your name, and then you tell me what you understand by design thinking in your own language, how is important, everything in your own language. So I will start with, let me start with Victor. So what do you understand by design thinking? Design thinking process, what is it all about?
Okay, so design thinking.
Yeah, go ahead. Don't.
Sorry, I can hear myself.
Okay, so I'll have to mute.
Okay. Can I go ahead? Can I go ahead?
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay, so design thinking for me, how I see it is more about thinking about solutions for your user. So basically, as a designer, you are trying to solve problems for your user, and design thinking it's about the process of solving problems for user, how to go about that process of, let's say there's a user that has issues with, let's say the project you're working on now, they want, these students have issues with maybe selling products in school, selling used items in school, or handling their calendars. Design thinking is all about the process that's involved in getting that, solving this problem for them. And it's all, for one, you have to understand their problem, you have to empathize with them, then you have to ideate, which is where you think about different solutions to the problem. Then you have to prototype it, where you go about building the designing to figure out how can this problem be solved, and then getting prototyping, and then you test it. So you, when you understand what the problem is, you put yourself in the shoes of the user, like how does this affect them? You do your research, you do your interviews to really understand their pain points. Then the ideation process is where you get about like your fidelity, your mid fidelity, in order to think of possible solutions, to actually solve their problem. Then after that, when you have gotten the final, let's not like the final, when you've gotten to a solution, you feel like, okay, this will solve user's problem, then you start building on it. Then after that, you take it to user where you get to test it. And also the whole thing is an iterative process where that even after building, you have to keep testing to see, what does it, is it solving user's problem? If not, how can we make it, to solve user's problem better? That's why you keep having updates in products. So it's not like after building, that's the end of the product. No, you keep going through the same process of researching, so seeing, does it solve the problem at this point? What can we do? And then you keep going till forever. So that's just this from me.
Wow. So I don't know if you guys have, I say I'm going to pick randomly. So Victor, thank you about that. So Kemi, you're next. What do you understand by design thinking process? Explain in your own language, the way you understood it.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. So basically, how I understood the design thinking process is putting yourself in the shoes of your target audience. So, for example, I'll give this our project as an example. Your target audience are students. Even though you might not be a student, but you just have to put yourself in their shoes, more like you are empathizing with them. And for that to happen, instead of working based on assumptions, you have to follow a process. For example, you start with giving them questionnaires, then do your user research. That's part of the questionnaires. Do your user research, your empathy map, and the rest of them before you before you wireframe. So basically, that was what I understood.
All right, thank you about that. So I'm going to call somebody I've never heard her voice or his voice. I don't know if I have. So I'm going to call Sokibo. I don't know if I pronounce it very well. So Sokibo, what do you understand by design thinking? Is the person available?
Good afternoon. Good evening, sir.
Good afternoon.
Okay. Little my I
Yes, I can hear you.
design thinking. Okay. Design thinking is about putting your users at the center of whatsoever you are building. You like the project we are doing. You send out forms to know their needs and how to fix and how to reach out to them. We empathize with them. Look at what they feel, what they think, and what they will do with the app, with the product you are building. Then we define clearly, we define whatsoever we define the problem, the problem we are solving. Then after defining it, we check on how the solution will affect whosoever is going to use it, whether positively or negatively. Then after evaluating, we look at the negative parts and we work on it. So that's all.
When you mean work on it, do you mean like, what do you mean like that, work on it? What is the right word?
Like iterate on it. Iterate.
Okay.
You get feedback.
Okay. Okay. All right. So I'm going to call the last female, Deborah. No, not the last, second to the last person. Then there's one person more I need to call. Deborah, what do you understand by design thinking?
Okay, good afternoon, ma. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Okay. All right. Good afternoon, everyone. I'll say that design thinking like is a structural approach in solving problems. Like it makes you put users at the center of what you're about to design. It's not really just about making things look good. It's about deeply understanding what people need and then designing solutions that actually work for them. Hello, ma, do you understand?
Yes. You're
Can
explaining
you
it
hear me?
you're explaining it like a pre-no. You're explaining it to nursery one's children. So I think I love that. Yeah, continue.
Okay, and sometimes it can start with empathy, like also understanding people, their emotions, their behavior, their goals, maybe their challenges, which can make solution more impactful in what you're about to design. So
Okay.
what else can I say? I think that's what I can say for now, ma.
Okay. So I'm going to call one last person. Freda, what do you understand by design thinking? Explain in your own language.
All right. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody. Um, Design thinking in UI UX is centered around the user, and it involves the whole problem-solving technique and approach that a designer would use to create effective products for these users in question. A major goal would be to understand the users, their needs, and their pain points, and also conduct surveys like we did with our project to clearly state the problem that the product wants to address. So it's a typical process, like my colleagues have explained. It's a process that doesn't exactly end, because then you have to always put the user first. Is why most of these applications that we use now require routine updates. Most times WhatsApp will just have a new update. It might be to address a particular need that they've understood from user survey. So it's just centered around the user, a process that puts the users first, understands their pain points, and use this information to create products that address their needs. So that's basically
Exactly.
what I understand. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So everybody said it the right way. Everything they all said is correct, but it's just that everybody explain it, or yeah, explain it in their own understanding. What you guys all said about design thinking is correct, 100% true. You get, like, if you remember when I was saying that, yes, as a designer, we are users and we are also designers, but you don't just work on a project based on assumption. You don't work project based on assumption. Your assumption might be right, but it is not 100% true, because there are some persons that you are creating this product for. Now, let's say in the aspect of people that have trust issues with card, linking their card details to a platform where they want to make a transaction, and they have trust issues, doesn't mean that you will not implement a section or a part for them to make transfer to the bank account that you're going to um, display or generate for them. There are some persons that they don't like doing bank transfer, because maybe, let's say for example, they are using a bank that have maybe bad network, or I'm just giving for instance, maybe their local bank is always having bad transaction network, especially when they want to do transfer and then the money will just hang. But they prefer to just link their card. They know that if it's card, it will just go once and for all. But if it's bank transfer, it will mean that they will have to go to bank, start rectifying this issue, those things. There are some users that are like that, and there are some users that we prefer transfer, because putting their card details on a platform sometimes make them have trust issues. For example, for those of us that subscribe to Spotify and Prime TV, definitely it is our card, our local bank card that you will put. What about the days that you are broke, so broke that the day that Spotify is telling you have to renew your subscription, and that is the only day that somebody is sending you 2,000 naira, and then Spotify cuts your money instantly, immediately the money just lands into your account, doesn't mean that you're going to starve. So something like that, I'm just giving an instance, something like that. So that is why there are some persons out there, I cannot suffer this for card detail, let me just come do the bank transfer. I'm just giving an instance. So there are users that are like that. There are users that are like this too. So, but you have to create a solution that fits for your own users. That is why research comes in. That is why design thinking process comes in. Now, Fred has said something about WhatsApp. If you are active user on WhatsApp, you notice that WhatsApp released some updates. Now, the update they release doesn't favor me. Now, when it comes to liking this channel something, by the time I like channel, if I want to view status, you see that it will go vertical and horizontally, and I have a lot of content, and sometimes I love the kind of post my contact people normally post. If I'm bored, I want to view everybody's status. It will not start making it to go vertical, horizontal, how it is, because of those channels that I like. At the end of the day, I prefer my status to be vertical. I will just, unfollow, unlike those channels. And if I want to go and see information on those channels, I will now have to go and search this channel on the search bar and go and look. And once I'm done, I'm off, because it doesn't favor me. But there are some persons it favor. You can see that I am a user that doesn't like that horizontal kind of status something. I prefer it vertical. There are some users that love it. So the users are different. There are a lot of different users. There are some features that WhatsApp 2 released that you guys might like. Me, I might not like it. Me, I might like it, but you guys will not like it. You get? So these are a process that, as a designer, is going to help you in your project, in building a project, and help you solve a problem. That is why I said, as a designer, let's use design thinking process. It's very important. I know sometimes it can be very long. It will make you think. It will make you, crack your head. It will make you sometimes to start saying, oh, what does this thing work for this person? It doesn't work for this. How do I tackle this thing? You get? And if you skip one process, trust me, you will notice the error when your user are testing your product, when your user are running around with the prototype. You will see that it is obvious. You get? So that is why it's very important. I know there's agile methodology. I know you've heard of agile. There's agile methodology. Most companies, most organizations, most offices use agile methodology, especially in Nigeria. They prefer this. I tell you the project, you do your local research, you jump into Figma, you do the work, you give it to the developer, they implement the user tests. Any complaint that the users come back, it bounces back to the designer. Okay, this one's, let's say you release 3 features and 2 is working perfectly for them, but 1 is not working. You take down one of the other feature and they should be using the 2. Then when you now repair the 3rd features, it will now become version 2.0. Now that one goes like a waterfall. You go in circular, it's just like a circle, you go in circular motion. For design thinking process, it will take you weeks, months, days before it can be accomplished. And this is like, when I mean days, not even the developer, so just for the designer itself. That's why most freelancers, when they say, oh, want to talk about do design thinking process, you will see most of the clients will tell you how many days is this something that you can work under 1 month. I know it can be done under 1 month, but it must be done under pressure. But if you want to take your time to solve a perfect problem for your user, just relax, think. If it's possible for you to be achieving 1 in maybe in 2 days, in 5 days, in 1 week, it's perfect. In 3 days, it's perfect. Okay, so let's talk about, let me just run us through design thinking so that it will help us in our project and help us in our assignment. So our assignments, we are not designing anything, it's just more of writing. Now let me run you through. So I'm going to make this to be bigger screen so I can see what I wrote. Okay, so why is design thinking important in UX design? Design thinking is essential in UX design because it places users at the forefront of the design process. Somebody said it's like you have the user in mind, you have the user in hand. You are doing that for the user, not for yourself. Yes, that is why design thinking is important. Ensuring that their needs, preferences, and pain points are deeply understood and addressed. I think this is what Deborah said. By empathizing with users, the designers can develop a profound understanding of their behavior, motivation, aspiration, enabling them to create a product and experience that are truly, are truly intended audience. Now, what this actually means is you are designing for the users in mind. You're designing for the users in mind. You're designing for their pain points. When if you are working on the empathizing stage, getting to understand your users. Oh, why don't you like doing this? Why don't you like ordering food online? Why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? By the time they tell you, or maybe you're using a similar product related to the one that you're building, and you tell them what is one thing that you don't enjoy using in this app, and then they tell you this is their pain points, and then you ask them what are their goals. They will tell you automatically, the goals and the pain points of this user. I know this person A information might be different. Let's say person A expectation or goals might be different, and then the second person goals might be different. The third person goals will be different. The fourth person goals will be different. You get? Now let's go back to our project. Now we're building projects for 3 sets of people, and now we have the fresher. We have maybe year 3 or final year, and then we have fresh graduates. Now you will see that when you're asking questions, you see that this person's experience is different from this person's experience. You get? Now let's talk about the stages of design thinking. Let's talk about design thinking. Now we have 5 stages in design thinking, of which we are going to implement that in our project. We have the empathize, we have the define, we have the hydrate, we have the prototype. You can call prototype, or you can call it design phase. And then we also have testing phase. So I'm just going to explain this in a layman's language for us so that we will understand more of it. Empathizing. This empathizing stage is like getting to understand your user. In this stage, you need to understand the needs, motivation, behavior of your users that you are designing for. Who are your target audience? Our project now our target audience for our project are not elderly person, but they are also more of students, freshers, fresh graduates, and people that are in school. So we need to understand their needs, their pain, like we need to understand everything about them. When I mean everything about them, not like their personal information. No. Everything about them, like their experience in school, related to their studies, game, whatever. Now, the next one is the definition stage. You need to define this problem. What is this problem stated? Now, you gather all the insights from the empathize stage. You need to define this problem that you're trying to solve. I don't want to make a simple sentence, because if I make a simple sentence, automatically I'm giving you guys expo for the project. So here is the definition of the problem. You need to define the problem that you're trying to solve. What are the core challenges? You need to identify the core challenges. Now, this problem statement, in a way, you have to frame the problem statement in the way that guides the design process. Now, we have the next one that says the Ideate. This is the Ideate, where you have to think. Now, this stage now comes where, now let me go back to empathy so you understand. The empathy is like getting to understand your user, where the research method comes in place, where you have the questionnaire stage, research stage, which is questionnaire. Then you have the other stage that says user personas, blah, 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 and all. Now, in the hydration stage, you have the empathy. You have the flow charts. You have the wireframing. That is the idea. Now you have to think of how you use. Now think of a problem, how you create a solution for this problem. If a user is not able to navigate through this fintech app, let's say we have, CareerEx and Piggyverse, they are doing the same thing. I think Fair Money too is among. They are doing the same thing. It's like a savings platform. You save money for a long period of time and they give you interest, maybe every month or something like that. I think CareerEx is doing that and Piggyverse is doing that. Now, I am a user that learns about CareerEx and Piggyverse, and then trust me, I'm enjoying Piggyverse, not because about the nice interface, the colorful interface. Trust me, it's about the experience. It's about the experience. Now, look at these two apps. What do you think that users that are enjoying CareerEx are not enjoying with Piggyverse? What do you think about users that are using Piggyverse? They are not enjoying CareerEx, and vice versa. That is where hydration stage comes in. We have Kilimanjaro. We have Jumia Food. We have both app. We have both food. We have Uber Eats. We have Ideate. We have so many of them. What do you think that this particular platform is not doing that this one is doing? Now look at Ideate. Ideate, you can find as multiple restaurants as inside the application. But Jumia Food, I'm not sure, but I'm just assuming that Jumia Food just focuses on one restaurant. Now, what about these particular restaurants? Fred, I don't like ordering food from them, but I love ordering food for them. Now, you're going to focus on only me and ignore Freda. So as a designer, you need to think of a problem. You need to think of a solution. That is where brainstorming comes in. Now, what are you going to do that is going to favor me and favor Freda as a user? Now, you're going to sketch your creativity out. Okay, you've thought of it. You've brainstormed a solution. You're going to sketch your creativity out, which is where the wireframing and flowchart comes in place. Now, we have the prototype stage, or you can call it prototype stage, or you can call it the design stage. Now, this is where you implement your wireframing into your high fidelity, and then you do prototyping. Now, you do this prototyping now, automatically, it's just like prototyping and testing are like junior brother and senior brother. Prototype now, the design stage is when you create your design, and then you do the prototype, and then you push it, which is the testing. You push it out for your target audience, not just random people, but the people that you design for to test your product, where you ask them questions like, were you able to create your account seamlessly? And then you keep a box for them to say yes or no. And this time around, mostly it's something that they're going to type as they're interacting with your product. When I mean interacting, your product is interacting with the prototype. Now, this time around, you're not sharing the design file, you are sharing the prototype link. Since we are designing for mobile, you're just going to add the mobile mockup for them. and then you do the prototype, and then you share the prototype link in a Google form, and then you ask all the questions that you want to ask, and then you will gather, they will test it, they will drop their feedback. Oh, I was not able to, I was not able to set a reminder for my class. This is the reason why. Maybe you ask a question, were you able to upload your timetable on the platform? If you are not able to upload it, why? What was the issues? So some questions like that. Not asking them questions that are related to yes or no. When yes, I know you're going to ask them questions related to yes or no. If yes, why? If no, why? They should be able to tell you. That is where the testing phase comes in. You gather feedback from these users, and it will help you. This testing phase helps designers validate assumptions and identify usability issues and understand how user interacts with the product. Now, in this phase, I will love us to share our prototype link. But my biggest fear is, my biggest fear? My biggest fear is not, for example, you share this link on the group, and then somebody that think he's so wise will not go and copy this person's design and upload and paste as his own. That is my biggest fear. But trust me, I will really love all of us to interact with products. But I think I'm going to do this after after the presentation, so that I will know that if I'm seeing this one, I know that this particular design or structure or pattern belongs to Freda and not Choma. Maybe this testing phase, we are going to do it after the presentation stage within ourselves, but you're going to use it based on your target audience first, and then later we can now do it among ourselves, where everybody, including me, I would love to interact with your products. Now, that is what design thinking stage is all about. So if you check the assignments, you will see that I broke it down in a language, or if you go back to that video, you see that I broke it down in a language that we will all understand. Now, this stage, somebody said this stage does not always happen one after the other. It can be mixed together. Now, what this actually means is you can be working on empathy stage and definition stage at the same time, true or false. I asked the question, this stage does not always happen one after the other. It can be mixed together. You can be working on empathizing stage and definition stage, true or false. Okay, yes or no? If you can mute from your end, mute and tell me. Okay, somebody's typing. Is it Elizabeth? I know it can be. Okay, let me call names. Salome. Is it true or false? So you guys are not working on your project.
I think network is lagging.
Sorry, can you repeat the question? I don't really understand the question.
Okay, the question says, now these stages of design thinking process, we have 5 stages, and I know most of us will say is when I finish the empathy stage, I'll move to the define stage. But now I'm saying that these stages can be mixed together. You can be working on empathy stage and you can also be working on definition stage, true or false. Yes or no?
Okay. Can I say something?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Okay. I would kind of say yes, but not a strong yes, because I feel
Exactly.
like it's not like exactly like you can combine all of them. Because if she's like that, I'll be like, can I also combine maybe prototyping when I'm doing what's it now? Can I combine prototype when I'm doing ideation phase? it wouldn't also work that way. So I feel like it's in the beginning, it's going to be like a process, stage by stage thing. But then after like you've gotten your, let's say you've gotten your product and you start testing it, then you now have to go through all of the processes to figure out which one you need to do at that point of the design of the life and product life cycle. But apart from that, I think when it's going first for the first build, it has to go like in the linear method. Like you have to first understand the user, then you start ideating, then you prototype, and then you test. It's not like you can combine any of them however you feel. So my answer would be like maybe perhaps.
Now, these stages don't always happen one after the other. What I mean is you cannot be working on testing stage and empathy stage. It doesn't work like that. It's when you are counting 1, 2, 3, 4, you start from 1, 2. What I actually mean, what I actually meant is you can be working on empathy stage and you're working on definition stage, not at the beginning at the same time. Empathy stage, you might be done like 70%, and then you can start your definition stage. That is what it means, which you can make.
Okay.
But not when you are doing prototype. You start your UI and then you're doing empathy. It will not work like that. Like you're just using your hand to give yourself double work. That is what I don't meant. But what I meant is that you can start with empathy. Let's say you are done with 70%. You can start with definition of problem. Now you shared your link to 40 persons for response, and half of them has given you response. You can create a problem definition with it while you wait for the remaining half to give you response before you can switch to your personas. Before you can do this, not testing, you start testing and then you're doing prototype. It will not work that way. So this is what I meant. I hope you understand that. Now, this means that designers can keep going back and forth, making small changes and improvements along the way. This way of working, let them keep making the design better and better. That is why I said, you say design thinking, it takes time. It takes a lot of time. It takes time, trust me. But the time it takes will give you a better solution. Trust me, it's going to give you a better solution. You get? So I dropped small assignments on the platform. We are not designing anything. Like I said, we are not designing anything. It's just for me to have it at the back of my mind, or have it in mind that these people are using this process to work on their projects. And I want to understand that they know more about this process they are using. So that is why I'm giving you this assignment. It's just handwritten in your own language, the way you understand it. And this assignment is to be submitted on the 5th of June, which is on Thursday. Like I said, you are not designing anything. It's just something that you have to open your Figma, create a frame size, and then you put number 1 question. You copy a number 1 question, you paste it there, and then you write the answer in your own language. Any font you want to use, no problem. But just make sure you use a font that is readable for me to understand. Now, this question. It's just 10 questions. Now, answer the following question in your own words. Be as clear, as thoughtful as possible. Now, when I ask people what are design thinking process, you saw that everybody said they are right. Everybody said the correct thing, but they said it in a way that they understand it. And when one person was explaining, I was just laughing. I was saying, like, if let's say I did not understand design thinking process, and she's explaining design thinking process for me, automatically I've understood everything she's saying, because she was explaining it to me as a pre-nursery child. It was clear. She did not use big grammar. She explained it to me in a way that even if some of us that actually don't understand it, instantly understood it immediately. So that is how you're going to answer this question. It's just the way you understand it. Now, the first question said, what is design thinking process and why is it important in solving users' problem? The second question says, in your own words, explain how empathy is different from sympathy and why empathy is a core foundation of human-centered design. give an example related to product design. Now, I know you guys have started thinking about something in your head, but I just want you to give an example related to product design. I believe you're on product design class. Now, the third one says, a product team skip the definition stage and proceed directly to the hydration stage. What potential risks or problem might cause this later in the project? Now, what this actually means is, if you skip the definition stage of a process, we are supposed to follow the 5 process: empathy, define, hydrate, prototype, and testing. And then you miss the definition stage and you jump to hydration stage, where you're supposed to, when you define a problem, you're supposed to, once you define a problem and have the goals for this problem, automatically the hydration stage, the brainstorming stage will be so easy for you. But when a product team skip the definition stage and proceed directly to the hydration stage, what potential risks or problem this might cause later in the project? Just type it for me. Now, give a good example of a good problem statement. This is why I said I don't want to say that statement. That statement as when I was explaining the design thinking process. Now, give a good example of a problem statement. If you say you want to use your project problem statement, no problem. But if you want to create another one, no problem. If you want to create a food, maybe fintech, banking, or whatever you want to use, no problem. But just give me a good problem statement. Now, in the hydration stage, why is it important to come up with many ideas instead of just one? Now, let's leave the flow charts. The flow chart is more like a roadmap of how a user is going to navigate your problem. So let me use your sketch, for example. Why do you think that you need to come up with many home page as possible? Now, let's say, for example, you don't want your button to be, let me use Kuda and OP, for example. Now, Kuda app is their button is always at the top right of their application, while OP is either at the bottom or at the center. But Kuda is always at the top right. Now, let's say you came up with another suggestion that says, let me just give, for example, another one that you say, oh, you want their button to be at the left-hand side. So I want to know why it's important for you to come up as many ideas as this, or this, even if it's just 2. Why is it important for us as a designer to come up with different or many ideas instead of 1? Now, mention at least 3 ideation techniques we as a designer use to brainstorm idea. The 3 is already going to give you expo for that, but let me close my mouth. Now, imagine you created a prototype and you test it with 3 users. 2 love it, 1 struggle. What should your next step be and why? Let's say, I just gave an instance now. Let's say I gave an instance where I used between me and Freda. Let's say a project, food app between me and Fred, and I'm just using Jumia Food, for example. Jumia Food has only one restaurant. It's just a one vendor application. But Chowdeck is multiple vendor application. And then Jumia Food app, I love their restaurant, but Freda doesn't love their restaurant. Does it mean that Jumia Food is going to focus on only me as a user and let Freda starve, or let Freda continue with her problem? Now, that is where this comes in. Imagine you create a prototype and test it with 3 users, and 2 love it, but 1 struggle. What should your next step be and why? Then the next one said, why is it important to test your design with users before launching a product? This one is very simple. Can you think of a product you use every day? Now, think of a product you use every day. Why design during the design thinking process? Now, we all use every app. We use Pinterest, OP, Kuda, WhatsApp, Facebook, Telegram, this, that, every day. Now, think of that product that you're using every day. Just pick one and think of what the designers of that particular project did so right during the design thinking project. sorry, process. And then the other one says, reflect on a real life product you have used that seems poorly designed. Now, the first one is the design. Let me don't confuse this question. Now, the ninth question says, a product that you use every day. Now, when that product that you're using every day, let me say WhatsApp for example, we all use WhatsApp every day. Now, what do you think that the designers of WhatsApp did so right during the design thinking process? Is it the empathy? Okay. Is it the prototype? Okay. Is it the testing? Okay. Is it the definition? Is it the, I think my class, is it the definition? Okay, at the come. Then the 10th question says, now reflect on a real life project. Both of them is a product that reflect on a real life product that you use to every day, but are poorly designed. What stage of design thinking process do you think the designers have missed or rushed? The first one is what they did so right, and the second one is something that they did rush. Please mute. Now it's just 10 questions. It's 10 questions. Now, this is how you're going to do the assignment. Like I said, you are not designing anything. Now, what you should do is open a new design file. Please, not the same one that you have been using for your assignment. Please. Most of us have been using one file since week 2. And this previous one, I intentionally did not grade them because I am seeing my comment as of previous time. Sometimes they just delete it thinking I will not know. But once I come on that Figma file, I will know that I have visited that Figma file. Please use a new file. To create a new file, go to your Figma dashboard, click on drafts, click a new file. Don't go to your team project. Please, I'm begging. This is a project to use a new Figma file. Please, we are not paying for it. It is free. Use as multiple as it is so that your work will be clean. Please. I was saying that because I wanted you guys to perfect how to do local styles. But many people are just repeating one file over and over again. Be cool. Please use a new design file, not the same one you have been using for your assignments. Please. On that new page, use a customized frame size to type each of your answer, clearing under each question. Like now, for example, you copy what's the design thinking process and why it is important in solving users' problem. Once you copy it, you use the question 1, Q1. You come under, you write the answer, you type the answer. Don't use any don't use any one you want to. If you want to use dummy, like it's not compulsory that you must use a phone frame or tablet frame. Any frame size you want to use it as long as it is clear. No problem. Then the second one, make sure your text is legible and use proper font text and easy for spacing for easy reading. Don't just use signature font and then I will struggle to read your answer. It will cost your score for your grading. If it's possible, use Inter. Just use font that is readable, please. Use Outfit, use Inter, use Montserrat, use Poppins, use Roboto. Use as long as it is clear, please. Then the other one say you can be creative with if you want to make it something creative. You know the way we normally do our style guide that will have this header there. If you want to have heading, no problem. If you want to have color block, no problem. Anything you want to do, no problem. No need to over design. Just make it clean. Now when I come to your Figma file, number 1 is in Sokoto, your number 2 is in Kaduna. Your number 3 is in Kwara. Number 4 is in Rivers. Number 5 is in Abuja. It should just be scattered. Please, no. Just arrange it. Frame 1 for frame question 1. Frame 2 for question 2. From frame 3, just like that. No use that dashboard or phone size. Just use something that is clean. Any size of frame you want to use. Double check your typos and ensure your response are well written and complete. Once you are done, share your Figma file and make sure you give me access to view on your file. There are some persons that have not given me access to view up till now. I have sent a request, I'm still waiting. All answers must be typed inside Figma, no submission of FigJam or any document. Please do not copy and paste your answer from your classmates or from ChatGPT, please. Answer with your head. This is an individual that be original and thoughtful in your response. Think as a designer, UX designer, sorry, good luck. So you can see that the assignment is not something that you're going to design. It's just something that you're going to go back to the resources, go back to the video, or go back to this video too, and then write your answer. So if you have question, ask your question. Do you have question? Ask question before I will take question for the project part. Okay, the assignment is difficult. Nobody's saying anything.
No, it's not.
Okay. So the assignment, like I said, you're not designing anything. You're not designing anything. Just create a new file. Just go to the new file. Now, for people struggling to create a new file, let me show you something. Okay, I think I opened. Okay, this one. Now, this is how to create a new file. This is your Figma dashboard. This is your Figma dashboard. So when you come to your Figma dashboard, what you're going to do is, you see this place called draft. This place, click on it. When you click on it, you come here. See this line, you click it. But if you are here, if you are in this recent, if you're in this recent now, if you're in this recent and you click on this design here, this design file here, you might not know if it's the draft or the team project, but to be on the safer side, just come to your drafts here. When you come to your drafts here, click on the create now. It will just automatically create a new design file for you. Now you've passed one stage, which is giving me access to view on that file. So that is it. So when you come to your design, this is my Figma dashboard. Come to draft. When you click on draft, you click on create now. Automatically you create a new file. So that is it. So please stop using your team project, because if you use your team project, automatically it will ask you to give me access, and maybe you did not remember. It will not make me, when you submit your link, I'll start asking for access, like access to come to your file. Like few persons, like this last assignment that you guys submitted, I did not grade few persons because they didn't grant me access to their file. You get, there are some assignments too that did not grade some of us too. They didn't grant me access to their file. Please. So use a fresh file. These 10 questions is as easy as, it's very, very simple. Please don't copy your answer from ChatGPT and paste for me. Just, even if you don't want to make your sentence to be 5 paragraphs, just want to make it 1 paragraph, but just simple. No problem, do it. I just want to see how you think about design thinking, how you understand it. That's it. Then when I mean like this other one that says, so let me open the, so let me, the other one I said, just be as creative as. So what I actually meant in that section. So I'm going to go back to my Figma and show you guys something. So we have the frame here. You can just make the other box tag. So let me open it. Let me open designs. The design this thing is so my network is so slow. What's your design for you? Share the link. Share the link for me. Okay, so sorry about that noise. Now, I'm having bad network issue, but you see this tab. This is somebody's assignment. This is somebody's work. This is somebody's work. But you see this tab that says color styles, text styles, interactive company. These are tags. So in your own work, in your own assignment, what you're just going to do now, you can just call that tags as question one. You put your question. So you can use names like this: question one, question two, question three. But your frame is not going to be as long as this. It's just going to be like a short frame. You get? You're not going to use desktop, any frame size you want to use, any font you want to use. My goal for me to see the answer is just how you put your answers together. I just want to see how you think as a UX designer in your own way. That is my goal. It doesn't, if you want to use black or true, you are fine. But please don't use color that I will struggle to read. So that is it. So that is it. Do you have any other questions to ask so that I will give you guys time to go and continue your project? For people that are classmates, our project presentation is going to be on the 20. Let me be sure. It's going to be Saturday and Sunday, but let me be sure if it's not 19 and 20 or 20. So presentation is going to be in the next 3 weeks, which is going to be on the 21st and 22nd of June. That's when it's going to be our presentation day. Then submission is going to be on the 23rd. So you have like 3 weeks to 2 weeks or 3. I have 3 weeks here. So our presentation day is going to be on 21st and 22nd, which is Sunday and Saturday, and then submission is going to be on 23rd. So I will type the submission information, how you're going to submit your work on the platform. And then we'll be having classes. We're going to have class. We're not going to have class. We're going to have class every other day, and we'll just talk about question and answer related to your project, where something is not clear or something is clear. So that's what we are going to be having. Okay. So do we have any other thing to add? Or do we have questions?
Can I ask? Can I ask?
No. Yes, ask a question.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Coach. I want to know when you talk about testing, are they actually going to